The feeding schedule for your dog. How often should we be feeding our dog? How should I feed my dog? So these are all really good questions, and let's go over this, okay? So first thing, should I even feed my dog on a schedule, or should we leave the bowl out, all right? Leaving the bowl out and just letting the dog graze is what we call free feeding, right? And the reason why free feeding is never recommended by me is because it's very hard to gauge how much your dog ate and when he ate. And the reason why that's important is because the number one thing that a dog who is sick will do is stop eating. Okay? So if we're free feeding, it's very difficult to know. If we have our dog on a schedule that every day at 7 in the morning we give our dog breakfast, and we know that every morning he eats it all, and then at 7 at night every day our dog gets dinner, and we know if he eats it all, and that goes on for 3 months. One day, when we wake up and we go to give our dog breakfast, and he doesn't touch it, we know, okay, something's wrong, time to go to the vet. Because that's one of the first signs of a serious medical condition. When you're just leaving a bowl of food out, and you're not paying close attention to how much he's really eating, it's hard to know, is there something wrong? So that's why free feeding is not something that I ever recommend. I always suggest we put our dogs on a schedule. Now, how often should they be eating? Well, it depends on the age, okay? If you have a puppy that is, let's say, 8 weeks to 6 months, they should be getting food, okay, 4 times a day. Now, you want to do your best to split that up for whatever works for your schedule. Once in the morning, maybe once in the morning. Let me do some times here. So we wake up. We do at 7 in the morning, and then we feed them again maybe around 11 in the morning, and then we do another little snack around maybe 3 in the afternoon, and then 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Okay. Puppies are growing. They need to have a lot of nutrition constantly in their bodies. Once they get to 6 months, we can cut back to 2 to 3 times a day, right? Realistically, 2 times a day is fine. From we get to 6 months, then we can go to 2 times a day, and that can be the same for adult dogs the rest of their life, all right? But again, we put them on a schedule. We want to try to keep it consistent. Now, besides just being able to have a good gauge as to whether or not our dog is sick, there are also some other benefits, especially if you have a puppy that you're trying to house train. If you feed them every single day at the same time, it makes house training easier because you're going to know when they have to go to the bathroom. If you're just leaving a big old bowl of food out and you don't know when that puppy is eating, house training becomes a lot less predictable. If they just ate 10 minutes ago, but you thought they ate 3 hours ago, then you don't know when they're going to have to poop. You're playing a guessing game. If you feed them on a constant schedule, it makes house training a lot easier. Okay. Now, I say this all the time that I'm not a big fan of food bowls, and that I always prefer to feed dogs out of puzzle toys. I take my dog's food, I put it into Kongs, the Busy Buddies. Sometimes I'll just take the kibble and just throw it in the backyard and he has to go hunt it. When you put a bowl of food down, the food's gone in 30 seconds. And to me, it's just a waste of food. I would much rather use that same cup of food and put it into toys, and now my dog gets mental stimulation from the food, he gets physical exercise from playing with the toys, and after his meals he's tired. So to me, I think it's a better use of food to put into puzzle toys. If you do feed a dog from a food bowl, that's fine. Put the food down and you leave it down for 20 minutes. Whatever the dog doesn't eat after 20 minutes, you pick up the food bowl and it doesn't go back down till the next meal. Dogs will not starve themselves. Let me take it back. A healthy dog will not starve themselves. So if you put food down and they don't eat, and you pick it up, and then you put it down the next time and they don't eat, and you pick it up, you might have to do that for 3 days. As long as we know they are healthy, they will not starve themselves. If you put food down, they will eat it. People will tell me, oh, my dog is just picky, he doesn't like this kind of food. if he is hungry, he is going to eat. He will not let himself die because the food is salmon flavored and he prefers chicken. That's not going to happen. But the key word there is a healthy dog, which is why the schedule is so important, because this is how you know that you have a healthy dog, because he before at least was always eating on a schedule. Okay, so keep that in mind with the food bowls. Now, if you're having trouble with your dog eating, look at the other treats you give him throughout the day. Right? If you're putting your food down, your dog's not eating the food because you're doing a training session with him using treats before dinner, oh, he's filling up. Or if you just give him a lot of treats throughout the day, he's filling up. So treats should try to, we want to keep treats, right, to about, every day, to about 10% of our dog's daily diet. That's it. 90% should be their kibble, their food, and 10% can be treats. And that's a good way to keep your dog at a healthy weight. Alright, so that's the feeding schedule. I highly recommend feeding schedules. Puppies 8 weeks to 6 months, 4 times a day. Once the puppy hits 6 months, or you have an adult dog, you can go to twice a day. Feeding your dog the proper kind of dog food is very, very, very important. This has huge effects on their health. And I know it can get kind of confusing, so I want to break it